Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be color blocking this dog painting. Stay till the end and you'll see how it all comes together and how I started from even just getting the image. It's really interesting. I started by printing out this adorable dog's face. I wanted to get it right. So then I use chalk on the back of the printout. So in this video, I'm going to do a lot of audio. I'm going to talk to you. I might ramble a little. You're getting used to that. But come along and we're going to paint this lovely commission, this Christmas commission for a lovely friend of mine. Her name is Sandy from Gilded Cage. It's a shop inside my gallery. And she wanted for Christmas a painting of her daughter's dog. Her dog is going to vet school and has moved away, and she just wanted to give her something really wonderful. So she and I are working on this commission. So I wanted to get this little puppy's face correct because that's the most important thing. So instead of trying to worry myself about getting all the proportions right and everything and using all my drawing skills that I learned in college, I decided to simply print out her face. I had to do a little bit of figuring on my computer to get it just about right for the size of the canvas that we're doing. And I wasn't worried about that being exact, about the size, because I can adjust the rest of the design. And so what I did is I chalked the back of the printout with just chalkboard chalk that I use just to draw my my canvases anyway. So now I'm using a pencil and I'm going over all of the pertinent shapes so that I can get them right. I'm still going to be looking at the photo while I'm painting. I'm still going to be looking for the details and the markings and all of that. And I'm going to be applying my style to the painting, but I needed to get the drawing right. So that's not something that I was worrying about while I was creating this. What I was worrying about would be just how to make this a fabulous painting for my friend. So you can see I have sped up the video. This video is sped up so that it wasn't 2 days long, so that you can kind of see the whole concept from start to finish. So you'll see my red canvas. It's a 2x4. And now I've traced on, ooh, that's a little scary looking, isn't it? Isn't that a little wild? So now I'm coming back in with my chalk and my eyeballs to make sure that the chalk lines that I did put down that were faint are correct, and that I wanted to make sure I hit everything. Isn't it cute? Isn't that just the cutest puppy? So here we go. We're up on the canvas now, and I'm getting in the rest of the image. So her daughter, I believe, took this photo herself. So it's one of her favorite photos of her dog. I'm gonna have to find out the dog's name, and we'll name the painting the name of the dog. But I'm chalking in, as I usually do with my chalkboard chalk, the rest of the drawing. So I may add some really quiet music in the back, stuff that you might hate or you might like. Maybe we'll see if I can find some royalty-free Christmas music, because this is it. But now what you're seeing me do is, and the reason I'm going to add music is so that I don't have to talk for 35 minutes while you watch this video. But you never know. I might ramble through the whole thing. So now I'm using a burgundy paint and I'm solidifying my drawing and getting in the shapes of the lighthouse. Now, I am not worried in the least about getting that lighthouse exactly proportionate, exactly right. I am an impressionist painter and I am indicating that is a lighthouse up there. So you can see that I'm getting now in some of the basic shapes that I see in the printout, in the photo of, the grass. And grass is interesting because it's just a big field. How do I make that interesting? The highlight is the dog. So you don't want to take away from the dog, but the grass is a supporting player in the painting. So here, now I'm slowing down and I'm using a little bit of a finer brush. I am getting in and really looking at my reference material as well to make sure I get it right. But the chalk has really helped me. The tracing, sorry about my hand. It is what it is. I am still learning about where to put that camera, but you'll be able to see how I develop and paint this lovely puppy. But I'm getting in a lot more detail than I probably would if I was doing a tree or something like that, trying to make sure that this is right. So what you're going to see next is me starting the painting. So I hope you enjoy watching me do this. I'm going to be starting, I usually start with the darker colors and I work towards the light. And this is a white dog, but she is not going to look all that white when I'm done. She will be perceived as white, but you'll see that there's just going to be so much color. And I am picking up paint from my palette. I'm using acrylic paint. I mostly use golden and Liquitex colors, some Winsor and Newton. And I tend to blend on my canvas. So I've talked about this before. I pick up multiple colors and I blend it right on the canvas, not on the palette. So here I've started. I'm working on the details already because I want to make sure I get it right. It would be a shame to work on this whole painting and then ruin the little face. So what you're going to see in the next few minutes is me getting the foundations of the dog correct. So I hope you enjoy watching me do this. If you have any burning questions, please put them below. I'm identifying shapes at this point. I realize what I'm doing is looking at my image of the dog and I'm breaking down his little face into planes and shapes. So what you're seeing is shapes of highlighted areas, shapes of the planes and the bones behind his cute little face, and the shadow areas. And when I look into the shadows, I'm seeing a lot of purples and pinks and blues. So that's what you're getting. And I'm also being very directional. The fur actually, is laying in such a way that it is developing the bone structure underneath. So if I follow the directional lines of the fur, I'm also going to be giving it space and form in the painting. So I usually I went quite light on the face already, but I usually start quite with medium tones when I'm doing something that's going to be white. And as you'll see, as I continue painting this little guy. So I've pulled the camera out a little bit because now I'm starting to work on the body. So the shape of the paws, the shape of the legs, and proportion, I didn't actually trace on. I used my eyeballs, and I'm just hoping here. I don't know if I said it at the beginning, because I've been rambling for a few minutes now, but tracing is not cheating. Tracing is getting it right. I know I have the skills to be able to get the image right, but it's a waste of my time, and I really want it to be perfect for the customer. So just so you know, tracing and projecting or projecting on your image is a great tool in your toolbox. So now here I am starting to build the background. So as I do with my landscapes, I tend to paint my trees and my islands, or the main focal point of my painting first, and I work the background last. So I'm bringing in, I slow down a little bit here. I have a bit of a smaller brush. Usually it's a flat brush. I believe I'm using a square brush, and I am bringing in around and identifying the shape of the animal, of the dog, so that I can start building out almost as if the grassy field is the sky or the background. So I'm making it fairly dark around the dog because I really want the dog to pop, and I will adjust. I will go into that dark with the next layers, but watch me now as I finish, or I color block. I don't finish. I color block this whole field and put in the sky in the next few minutes. So color blocking is just that. I'm getting all my shapes, all my colors, my most of my values and decisions are made at this point, and I'm simply filling up that whole canvas. And then I've got to let it dry because it will get darker overnight, and then I will be able to come back and add those highlights, which I have done. So I don't usually finish a painting here on YouTube because I almost feel a little bit intimidated. But with this one, I think I got to the end of it and I thought, you know what? I think I can actually come back tomorrow. So stay tuned for the total end. You're going to get the total painting with this video, and I hope that you really enjoy. Merry Christmas, because it's a gift, because I'm not sure, but maybe doing this one will make me more confident in the future to finish paintings with you in the next ones. So I've got a few, I might as well tell you what's coming up. I've got a few videos coming up that I'm really excited about. One, again, back to an abstract, and then it's going to be more embellishing, because that 'tis the season. It is Christmas time. I have a lot of prints to embellish. I have to go, after I'm finished posting this video, I've got to go back to the gallery and pick up more prints to bring back to embellish again. It's a full time. And at the end, you'll see Abby pop in. And Abby is actually moving, so she's very, very busy. So we haven't been able to do a live. It's Christmas time. I hope we get to do one in the next couple of weeks for you before we get to Christmas. But I hope you're enjoying your Christmas season. I hope if you're an artist, you're taking advantage of, look what I did. So there I used too much water and it's dripping down his little face. But I actually don't mind it because that green will just become part of his fur. As if it's reflective, and I'll just paint over it. So that did not worry me. But I was like, oh, let me catch that. So where was I? I was talking about the fact that it's Christmas season and it's very busy. So this is one, I thought this was the last commission. It's not. I have to do another one, and I have to do a little 12 by 12. So if I can get myself together, I will do it. So here I am taking a bit of a break, and now I've pulled back again, and I'm just going to stop talking now and let you watch how I fill in the rest of this canvas. Hi everybody, this is Lauren. Can you say hi to everybody?
Hi.
Say hi.
Hi.
Do you like my dog?
Yeah.
What do you think?
Good.
It's good? Do you think you could do it?
Yeah.
I think so too.
All the house.
Look at all those colors.
I had purple.
Purple. Do you see yellow?
No, where's purple?
It's a dark purple, but that's a purple.
Purple is my favorite color.
Is your favorite color? What a treat that was. Lauren came to visit me. It's one of the most wonderful things about having a studio in my home is that the grandkids come, they stop, well, it is an interruption and I do get interrupted and I have to stop. But what a really awesome thing to be able to stop, to have a cup of coffee with my daughter-in-law, to visit with my grandbabies when they come and my daughters and sons-in-laws. It's really wonderful. I love it when they pop in. Now, most of my grandkids are school age, so they don't tend to come during working hours, but it's a real treat because Caitlin, Lauren's mom, and Lauren had just been on a big journey delivering local paintings for me. So putting them to work, whole family affair. They were out delivering tubes and prints and all sorts of things, and I am ever so grateful for the cooperation and help. So here I'm starting, I'm working again. As you can see, like I said, I did the positive shape, the lighthouse first, and then I am working the background out from the lighthouse. And then I'm filling in the shapes as I'm looking at the her printout, the photo reference, but the sky will be very different from her photo reference. It's just the initial thing that I look at, and then I start building, and it's really about composition, shape, form, and flow. And it was really, really fun to work on this, and it was really fun to be interrupted by Lauren. So you just saw me working a little bit of the sides. I tend to paint the sides at the same time, but here is the whole color blocked painting. There's lots of layers that I still need to do. You can see the red canvas through a lot of the strokes that I have, but I've got a lot of glorious shapes in, and my technique where I pick up many colors on my paintbrush works really well for grass, don't you think? So I'm giving you a little tour here of where I've left it, and then I'm going to come back and I'm going to paint the rest of it with you. Really, at this point, there's so much done. Day for this painting, and I'm going to be doing the finishing touches today, and I'm going to bring you along. Merry Christmas. This is a gift to you because, and a stress for me a little bit, but not too much, because I don't tend to do the finishing part on YouTube, but I'm going to do that here today because I think I got a good handle on where I'm going, and I wanted to talk about it. But before I do, I want to talk about a few elements of design in this painting that you might not notice, that if I point out, you might think is fun. Obviously, I've divided the painting into thirds, with the sky being the top third. I've got to go in and add some details to this lighthouse. I'm not worried about the lighthouse being perfect. I'm not worrying about lines being straight. My husband says that about me when I'm painting a house. He says my impression of a straight line for cutting in is not welcome when he's painting. So he does all the cutting in, I do the rolling when we do paint. But I wanted to talk to you about value and color. So what I've done here is, obviously I've got this cute little wonderful white dog who's quite popping. I've on purpose done the grass around him, and almost like there's a shadow here, but I've done some of the grass around him a little darker so that he'll pop. But what you'll also notice is there's a color story and a directional story. So we've got clouds coming in here, and then I've got sky coming down here, moving, and that line moving into the painting with this brown sweep, and I'll add things to it with this brown sweep. But we're kind of doing an S design, almost like this is a long and winding road going back. Do you see it? And what that does is it draws your eye through this painting. If I just painted flat green, a whole flat green, it might be a look. I think that would be fun. I don't paint flat. There's some artists that I know that would. That might be really neat. But I think for this, it might be a big, boring, flat thing. So what I've done is just used my brush strokes and my color and my shapes and the direction of the land to do that. So in the background here, I'm even doing vertical strokes on this grass because it's getting further and further back, so you wouldn't be noticing grass, you would just be noticing shape. So I'm doing that. As we get down to the front, I'm starting to use bigger brushes to do some of it. And then at the end, I'll probably just do a few weed heads or a few little strokes. And the way my paint, the way I pick up my paint anyway, I pick up lots of different colors. It's actually working really well to kind of give an indicator of the green. Okay, so I'm gonna move the camera around. I'm gonna put this on the table while I work on a few pieces with you, and then I'll put it back up and do my final big strokes. Okay, come along. So I lay the canvas down so that I could work on, the details of the lighthouse. So I'm sorry, the camera, as my arm goes in and out, the camera focus shifts, but it is what it is, and I wanted to show you, and I can't go back and redo it. So my hand's in the way at times, but I'm picking up paint, I'm hitting the highlights, and you're gonna see, this is a little bit of a sped up, but there's not a lot. I'm not worrying about all the details. That's way back there in the distance. So we don't need to worry about all the details of it. Just give me just give me the basic shapes. I'm looking for basic shapes. I'm kind of squinting, looking at where shadow is, where the highlights come in. And it is amazing how you can build form with just a few strokes. And it's always fun to come back in and do the final details on, the puppies, the animals that I paint. And I'm really enjoying this. It's just so much fun. What's fun about painting an animal is you can't. Well, you know what? When I used to paint people as well, I put a lot of color in their faces too. So I love putting all the colors into their fur. It just allows so much fun and layering and just enjoyment. Don't look at a white dog and paint him white. Don't do the shadows black. Don't do them gray. Really use all the colors. So here I'm just doing the highlights, doing the shapes, just adding little tiny touches. You'll notice it's not big strokes that make the changes at this point. I am squinting a lot at the picture, trying to figure out where the shapes are and where maybe I don't need it to be as contrasty. I'm looking and doing things like that. My favorite things to do on people and on animals are the eyes. And I love to build them up. And again, though, if you were looking, if you could see so closely, I'm not worrying too much about complete detail, but you have to get the shape of an eye right. And this is the most fun part. A little bit of white paint on the end of a paintbrush, carefully coming in, gives a perfect highlighted dot, and it's the finale to those gorgeous, gorgeous eyes. So now I've put my painting back up on the easel, and I'm going to spend the next bit of time simply tweaking and highlighting and adding texture to the grass and to the sky. I hope you enjoy this part. Stay tuned till the end where I discuss it. There we go. I needed to pull that pink all the way through. All right, I put the red canvas behind, like I said, to kind of hope you can see. But here is what I think is the finished painting. I hope you enjoyed this video. I'll get up and close to show you textures. And look, this lighthouse is by no means perfect. Oh, hi, Abby.
Did you make that?
I just made it.
That's amazing.
I made it for Sandy.
I love it. I love it.
And look at, we got Vicky out there.
Vicky!
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
Doing her business.
But what do you think, Abby? You can be here and talk about this with me.
I'm
doing, this is the final stage for my YouTube video. And what I did is I showed everybody how I traced her face, because tracing's not cheating, so that I could get her perfect, because that's the whole,
she is perfect.
She needs to look like their dog, right? Okay, I think what I only need a highlight on here, I think, to finish it, and maybe put a little bit of detail on that door, but that's it. I think it's done. So thanks for coming along. Thanks for staying with me over the couple of days that it took to do this. And I'll let you know how the client loves it after Christmas. Like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.